Hi, this is Ed Cauthorn, and this is my fourth video, Python, for the first week of the summer session at 2022 in Manchester Community College. Why is it important to know both the Python shell and idle? Well, let's just say you can do a lot of development in the Python shell and just test it and see if it'll work. And in being able to do that, you've eliminated a lot of problems. If you set your Python shell current to on the same directory, in the same folder, to open in the same folder as the program you're working on, you can test your program inside the shell real easy. Now, I know when you run the program, it brings up a shell, but it's kind of nice to know that you can test things independent from the program. That's a big deal. To set your Python shell current to your library, you go up here and you copy down the devil library, your directory library address. Go down here, you hit in command line, open up your command prompt, and on some machines it may be simply typing in CMD, it may be any number of things. I just open up my command prompt and I type in CD and hit Control V, and that changes the folder that I'm looking at to the folder I want to look at. And then I'll just clear the screen with a CLS, do a DIR, and there are all my Python programs. Now that may not seem like a big deal to you, but as we move along, you'll find that being able to do things like this will make your programming a whole lot easier. If we type in PY, we automatically open up a Python shell. Now notice we haven't cleared the screen. It doesn't clear the screen until you command it to clear the screen, and we haven't commanded it to clear the screen at all. So that's not a problem. And we can use the import statement, test.py, or test as T, to import hello world. This is Eddie, enter a temperature, 75, and it spits out a temperature back at you. Now, you can't, I don't know if you can use T again. No, because it's already been imported. But you can import it, import test as S. And then you can run S. You should be able to run S. Nope, doesn't like it. You can only import once, but this shows you how you can use it. I know this might sound a little bit clumsy right now, but as we move along, it will become increasingly important. And what the import does is it imports a module that's already out there with that Python name. So with that name. So there's a module out there called OS that allows Python to interact with the operating system. And when you do that, you have OS system. And it cleans the screen for you. So there's a lot you can do with it, and it's just a handy thing to know you can do. It's nothing that right now is going to conquer your world or make your life save you from, I don't know, save you from adversity or anything like that. But it's a nice thing to know that you can do these things, because as you move along, you may want to be able to test in both the IDE and in your idle, and save your program in your idle and test it in your IDE, test it in your shell, just because it's a neato, swift, cool, and groovy thing to be able to do if you get into problems. It's a good debugging tool. Secondly, how do I use the input command? Well, we already talked about the input command a little bit. It's really quite simple. This is it. Input. Enter any temperature. Now I can do this, or I can use the eval as they do in the book. You'll get in your first week's reading, you'll see the eval. I prefer to do it this way, just convert it over directly. That way I don't have to worry about running another process to do an evaluation. I'm telling it it's going to come in as a string, and I want to convert it to an integer so that it can work. Otherwise, it ain't going to work. Keep that in mind. As I say, everything you enter through keyboard comes in as a string, even numbers. There are two ways you can test something to see what data type it is. One is simply just to put in the type, dog, equal rover. And then you simply type out dog. That's one way to do it. And another way is an instance command, which I'll go over later on in the class. So don't worry about that too much. You can also do this. There's, and it brings down all the vars, and it tells you dog somewhere in here, dog rover. Gives you dog and what he's equal to. Anytime you put in a command, anytime you put in a value, cat equals 666666666, and then you type the vars command, it's going to tell you that cat is a number. You know it's a number because it doesn't have quotes around it. That's a big deal. Slide 18. Printing in Python. Printing in Python is relatively easy. It really is. But it's something you have to master. And one of the reading assignments this week is this real Python page. The reason I give you this real Python page is because it allows you to learn how to print things and do things a little differently. It's supposed to be, it's actually pretty good. It's a pretty good page to work with. It works. You can copy this material into your IDE or your Python shell, and it explains things very, very quickly and very, very succinctly. Real Python is a group that's on the web that I've used over the years to find things. Some things you're not going to understand. You're not going to understand complex numbers. I mean, I don't understand complex numbers. I'm not a double E. I'm not sure what I'd use them for. I'm certainly not a rangefinder for an artillery piece. That kind of thing is what you use complex numbers for. I'm not too worried about that right now. Those are way beyond our scope of understanding. So keep that in mind when you're going through this page. You don't have to understand everything right the first week. The first week is just getting you acclimated with the IDE and getting you acclimated with the Python shell. That's really what's important to me, that you understand how to interact with the two. And with that, I think I'm going to end it. Let me look at slide 19, see what that is. I have to think about it. Okay, we'll start back up with the next slide on how to work with basic variables.